talk to us about this, because it's an odd set of circumstances where HSBC was meant to be the global bank involved. They pulled out. Goldman Sachs was stepping in. But it just shows that they're rather willing to perhaps embrace more controversial deals.
Right, so let's look at why this is unusual in the first place, right? You have Goldman Sachs pairing up with two obscure brokerages. You have an unorthodox deal structure, and then you have Lars Windhorst, the controversial German financier who's been in the news recently, fresh scrutiny because of all this prior business dealing, who's playing a role behind the scenes. So when you have that set of circumstances, already there are a few raised eyebrows. But that was not the case in 2015 when the bonds were first sold. It met with great success. The bankers were crisscrossing the Atlantic, receiving a bunch of awards for their creativity. It's only 2 years later, when the deal went bust, that the troubles started piling on.
And the troubles continued with these investors hiring private detectives. That's fairly unusual, isn't it?
It is a novel approach. It's unconventional, dare I say aggressive. In fact, there was one major bondholder who sort of got uncomfortable with these tactics. But when what you hold is worth 40 cents on the dollar, I guess you go to any length possible to maximize your recoveries.
And this was all about Etihad Airways and some of the perhaps lesser well-performing companies that they happen to manage. I know one of them. I flew with them a lot because I was based in Berlin, and it's Air Berlin, but there's also Alitalia and the like. How shouldn't really a lot of this been quite evident, the risks that were involved in the bond deal itself? Because Etihad never gave a guarantee.
Right. That's an interesting question. You really have to put this problem into two baskets. There is just one basket, which is they're pursuing, the bondholders, which is, was everything on the up and up? Were there any issues? Was everything clean? That's what I guess they're hoping the private detectives can dig into, find out if there were any issues with the deal, and hopefully make that as one leg of their argument. But there is the second issue, is what is their responsibility? What should their diligence have been? This is a deal where, like you said, there was sort of this implicit sovereign guarantee, right? You had Etihad, which is owned by a state, Abu Dhabi. So even if there are other carriers in financial distress getting the money, the bondholders perhaps went with the assumption that there will always be a backup. But when there is no explicit guarantee, nothing's certain. And I think that's what they're finding out now.